now, but maybe later he will say yes.
Well, it's past it to me.
I hear you. I don't want to. That's not all you want. Maybe something, who knows what will come out of it? Who knows? I'm going to do my ishtadlus. Without any expectations. So too over here. Don't say you're not going to daven at all. Don't go in like a droopy Jew. I lost this one. I lost this battle anyway. I'm going to be here because, of course, I'm a Jew. I have to daven. I have to put on 1,000 tefillin. But don't go in like a droopy Jew. In your mispal klal. Rabbi Nachman brings a raya, he says.
But people get stuck in this.
Of course, that's what we're talking about. It's exactly what Rabbi Nachman is coming against.
Circles already.
It's actually different business though, because if you will.
Right,
I'm saying like in business, if you would,
you will never use this excuse in any other aspect of your life.
You would go to the
not
meeting.
Say,
yeah, I'm saying like I would never like.
Right, by Gashmias,
right.
maybe I'll go. With Ruchnias, droopy Jew.
That's
just drooping around. That's it.
Right, meaning you're never using that defense for anything else. Like you're showing up to the barbecue. Like it doesn't matter if you're full. You know what I'm
Because the
saying?
barbecue doesn't make a difference if you show up or some make-believe person shows up. Like
100%.
somebody who's acting to get the deal or just acting friendly or whatever the case may be.
But meaning you're not
But
going to
when
use
showing up
defense.
to talk to the master of the world, you have to show up.
100%.
So you think, so we're not saying, you think that you have to show up. So he's going to define to us what it means showing up. And he's going to give us a big eitzah in how when we don't feel that we could show up. He's going to teach us how we can show up anyway. But he brings a Gemara. I'll bring from the Gemara. I'll just read the bold, but then I add the Gemara in a minute. Rabbi Chanim and Dosa Shayim Espali prior to this Gemara. Rabbi Chanim is Davin. Amr Lo, Achulei, Amr Lahem, Im Shaguru Tfilas Bifi, Yodani Shemakubal, V'Im Lav Yodeh. Okay, I'll bring the whole Gemara. Look at the next line here. I put the Gemara there, right? Brachos. So the Gemara says like this: Tan Rabban, Ma'isa Shechala B'Nosha Rabbi Gamliel. There was a Ma'isa that the son of Rabbi Gamliel got sick. Shiger Shnei Talmidei Chacham. It's Rabbi Chanim and Dosa. So he sent two messengers, two Talmidei Chacham to Rabbi Chanim and Dosa, Lavakish Lavrachim, to ask Rabbi Chanim and Dosa, the Tzadik Ador, that he should daven for his son. Came in Shirosam. The moment he saw these messengers, Allah Aliyah, Ubikesh Lavrachim. He went to the attic and he davened for mercy. Interesting, right? He saw them coming. And he kind of knew what was going on. Viridoso, as he came down from the attic, and these messengers come in, Amr Lehem, he said, L'chu shechalatzatu cham. Go, because his fever has passed. Rabbi Gamliel's son's better. Amr Lo, they said to him, you're a prophet? How could you possibly know that he's better? Amr Lehem, Lo Navi Anochi, Lo Ben Navi Anochi. I'm not a Navi, I'm not the son of a Navi. But I have a Masorah. Im shagura tefillah sebefi. If my tefillah coming out of my mouth is smooth, yodei ani shu makubel. I know that it was accepted. V'im lav, and if it does not come out smooth, it's Pashut Pshat in the Gemara. Yodei ani shu matorif. I know that it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. Yoshu v'kasu v'kivnu v'sasha. So the Talmidim wrote down the exact time that he said this. He said to them, Havoda, it's like a promise. Lo chisartim, lo tartim, it wasn't any less, it wasn't any more. Al kacha yamaisa v'os l'shach, halatzatu, chamo, v'shalon amayim l'shtos. Kachava, it was exactly that moment that he came down and he said that the son started to feel better and he asked for a drink of water. That's the mice. So, Rabbi Chanim Mendoza has this koch of tefillah, and Nachman explains the Gemara. He says, this Gemara from Chanim Mendoza is what we're saying. That when Rabbi Chanim Mendoza said, "Im shagur tefillah befi," my tefillah is smooth in my mouth. So the Pashut Pshat, the way you probably learned, the way that I learned for sure, was that if it came out smooth, or the fancy word is mellifluous. Right? It came out smooth. My father used to use it. Mellifluous. You heard it here first. No? You know the word. You like that? Came from my father. I don't know if I can tell you. You see, you said that. I can't spell it though. Can you spell it? I can't spell it. Anyway, it's a good Scrabble word. Crosswords. So if it came out smooth and you didn't err on the words. People sometimes you have a smooth davening, every word's just flowing nicely, and some days it's not going so well. You're a little tired, the words aren't coming out clear. So Nachman says that's not pshat. Pshat is in the dveikis. If Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa was holding a place of dveikis, so then the tefillah was going to come out smooth from his mouth because it's in of dveikis. And then mikubelis, then it's going to be accepted. He knew if he's in a state of dveikis, which is the point we want to get to in tefillah. So then when he davened in a state of dveikis, mikubelis. He knew that his tefillah for Rachamim, for the son of Rebbe, was going to be accepted. Vim lav, and if he wasn't in a state of dveikis, chas Hashem levich. He knew that his tefillah wouldn't be answered and it's not going to go. So what do you see from this Maisa? I think this is what Rabbi Nachman's bringing out. If Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa didn't feel the dveikis, then why would he go daven? Right? He knows going up to the attic, you feel it or you don't feel it. If you feel the dveikis, gewaldig, so daven, and it'll be accepted. If he's not feeling the dveikis, what's the point of davening? It's not gonna be accepted, and anyway the kid's he's gonna be sick. But what happened? Afal pikain al yom adam kain el yispal tamid. Don't ever say I'm not gonna daven. I don't feel the dveikis. Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa davened. Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa went, and he knew. This time happened to be he did feel it, but he knew. He says sometimes I know that I'm not feeling the dveikis. I'm not gonna be answered. He still davened. V'im lo yuchol lispal b'dveikis karoi yispal b'kol kochel. So this is Rabbi Nachman. Gives a huge eitzah. So again, one would think if the whole tachlis of tefillah is to get to a place of dveikis, of whatever dveikis, again we said before, some level of attachment to Kodesh Baruch. If you can't get to that place, what's the tachlis? What's the point? So Nachman's saying still you have to daven. Again, what's the point? So there's two levels here. There's level prati and there's a level klali. When it comes to davening, prati, the specific avod of tefillah, avod shebalev, we want to get to a place of dveikis. That's the point. We have to try our best to get to that place. But a person says, I can't get there. So what should I do? Daven like a droopy Jew? He's being honest. I'm not going to be able to get there today. I can't even fake it. I can't be real. I can't even be able to, even if it's a leiv nishma. It's not happening. So what should I do? Maybe it's better I don't come to davening at all. It's better than being a droopy Jew. I don't want to be a droopy Jew again, So Nachman says no. You daven b'kol kochel. What does it mean davening b'kol kochel? Davening b'kol kochel means trying to daven as well as you can. Now, that means you might not be feeling it all. You might not be in the headspace to even understand what the words you're saying. But you could daven all the words out loud. We gave a few shiurim about this. The sugi of tefillah a while back, last year. And we discussed the sugi of B'kol Kochel. And it means a few different things. It's the first Torah Rebbe Nachman talks about davening B'kol Kochel. He's tefillah B'kol Kochel, right? Arim Kochel? No, tefillah.
So prati is what?
Prati is the actual dveikis that you're supposed to feel by tefillah. But very often you can't get there. So in terms of klali, still do the avodah. Daven b'kol koach. Daven out loud. Daven out loud. You have no idea what the words are saying. You really don't feel it today, but daven out loud. What does that show? What does that show? What does it mean when, we'll give an example. What does it mean when your team is losing? We're in baseball season here. Your team is down 12-0. It's and it's 15-0. It's the bottom of the ninth, and your team's up, and it's already 1 out. You want to beat the traffic, so you got to get out of there fast before everybody else gets out. But you stay. You know the team's going to lose. They're going to lose. There's no question. 21-0. I don't care. Make it crazy. But you stay. What does that show?
You're a jerk.
Give me my hot dog. It shows that you have faith. It shows that you have Emuna. Not necessarily in this game, not Dafka, but in this team, in general.
This is my 6-year-old son. If they all get on base, and then he hits a grand slam, and there's only 1 out left, and then he makes it's like, Like they're down. It's over.
So there's two. One
The
second.
whole
Okay, so this is good. One second.
You
mathematical-
ruin your kid.
Well, then, you know what? Yes and no. I mean, he's being, I think what the rabbi is saying.
Correct.
He's having the faith. He's figuring out.
That's what he's trying to say.
every
Holding
potential. So it's like this tied game, and there's 2 seconds on the clock on the basketball.
Right, exactly.
You know.
He's
So I'm saying
holding in a place that like it's very possible this could happen.
So this is I think Moshe, this is what you were trying. That was your thought. So when you said faith, that's what you were thinking. Like you believe that maybe they could do it.
I went through this a lot if I went back to Boston, don't worry.
Oh, sorry to hear. Oh, against the Yankees.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've been there a lot.
So one second. I want to get it very clear. There's 2 ways you could say this. There's a person could say, let's daven b'kol koach. B'kol koach means I'm not feeling it, but I have Emuna Pshuta, and maybe, if I daven b'kol kocho, then maybe it will bring me to some level of emotion, and I will daven well. 100% sure. And that's one of the reasons why you should daven b'kol koach, because don't just leave the game, maybe they will win, or don't just leave the meeting when there's 10 minutes left. You never know. Heaven. Emuna doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? But maybe that's what Kodesh Baruch Hu wants, and I want to be there. I want to be there to be part of it. But if you don't go, if you cancel, if you resign too early, then you're not there. But it also means something even more. Is that if a person knows that he's not going to daven well today, and yet he still says the words out loud, that might be a higher madrega for that too. I'm not saying do it every day, but that's the highest level of Emuna Pshuta. I know I'm not going to feel. I'm not going to get what I request. I'm not going to get the dvekis. I'm not going to get the tainig. Kodesh Baruch Hu is not going to answer my tefillos because it's dependent on dvekis. When a person davens for dvekis, when a person davens for something, a little bit, it's selfish. A lot of it sometimes, but even if not, it's a little bit selfish. When a person knows he's not going to daven well, there's no enjoyment today in davening. I'm probably not going to get what I'm asking for today. It's just me standing there and just saying words that actually shows his Emuna Pshuta in Kodesh Baruch Hu more than anything else.
Shema.
Exactly. It's the Shema. It's Emuna Pshuta. I believe that there's a Borei Olam. I believe that he wants my tefillas. It's not going to be good today, but I'm still going to put my koach in, not because I think my daven will end up being well. It'll be good. I'll get emotional. Not because of that. Because I believe in Kodesh Baruch Hu. Emuna Pshuta, ani ma'amin. You say it, even if you don't feel it. It's nothing to do with feeling. We get caught up in this world of feelings, especially when people want Chassidus, because Chassidus is supposed to bring out emotions. Sai Chabad, Sai Breslev. It's supposed to bring you to a state of devekis, heightened connection, feeling to Kodesh Baruch Hu. And a lot of people who experience that, when they learn Chassidus, and they try to act in Chassidus, they feel it. They say, this is the real deal. This is it. I feel it now. But then if a person doesn't understand the sugyas for real, he gets caught in that place. And he thinks he always has to feel it. He always has to be perfect.
This is good. This is the best.
This is it.
Keep it going.
And we get all bent out of shape, become all crooked. This happens in every avodah we do. Davening is the head honcho of this. As I've said in other words, I feel bad, but I feel like davening has been thrown out already for most people for 20 years. It don't work. I don't get what I want. It doesn't work. I'm done. Droopy Drew davening syndrome for 20 years. Because they didn't necessarily understand what tefillah was. They don't understand what Emuna Pshuta is. And Emuna Pshuta means you do the avodah because it's the emes. Emes ve'emuna. Chok v'lo yavma. It's emes. It's emuna. It's a chok. You just do it. It will come at some point. Maybe not today. But stay in the game. It's emuna. This is what Rebbe Nachman's teaching us. And he says, then weiter, he says something that's also emes. But don't rely on this. This is trying to keep us in the game. And he says, this is from Baal Shem. This is Baal Shem Tov 101. Look at the next line. Ki be'esh yispal b'dvekas karoi. This is an emes. The emes is that all the energy that's flowing through the world, nothing gets lost. So if you have a davening that does that wasn't with Dvekas, where does it go? In the garbage can, and it's taken with the garbage out and sent out somewhere. I don't even know where the garbage goes. On some barge somewhere? No. That's not what happens to tefillah. These are words of tefillah. At the end of the day, these are still words of tefillah. So where do they go? They didn't get upstairs. The malachim were like, nah, this one I'm not going to take upstairs today. It wasn't Dvekas, it wasn't Shagor B'Fiv. So where does it go? So the Svarim teaches, and Baal Shem Tov teaches, it hangs around. It just hangs around. When a person is zochet to one tefillah with Dvekas, one. All those, who knows, weeks, months, years maybe, of tefillahs, all go up with that one tefillah with Dvekas. They all piggyback off him, and they all go to Shema. If you dropped out early, then you have nothing, right? Then you have nothing to go up with that one tefillah with Dvekas. You lost the whole thing. If you daven, even if you're not feeling it, day after day, week after week, month after month, even if it doesn't go up, you have an entire world that's waiting to go up. And when you daven that one with Kavana, that one with Dvekas, it's going to feel so good. Because it's really like 1,000 tefillas at one time. And it was all worth it. They all had an aliyah. Stay in the game. Emuna Pshuta. And Emuna Pshuta is stay in the game even when it doesn't make sense. What's the point? I'm not going to daven with Dvekas. It's not going to go anywhere. Who cares? Emuna Pshuta, stay in the game. Do avodas Hashem, because it's the emes. Emes Emuna. Yeah.
Couldn't walk. He tried walking to the shul and he couldn't walk in because his feelings.
It was too packed.
With Gaiva, maybe was it?
The feelings didn't go in all.
They stayed in the shul. They never.
Right, because I think there was a lot of Gaiva going on.
Yeah,
maybe.
But
I don't remember the end of the mice.
So then I think he was davening outside or something, and said, "Why did he go in?" I can't fit in.
I'll find it.
I have it. It's in the big book. I've seen it.
Yeah, I read it.
Okay, we'll get it. So now, just to end off this Torah, Rabbi Nachman Tzadik Tes, he ends off with this expression. Like we start off. He says what he just said was what Moshe Rabbeinu was davening for this in the beginning of this expression. Moshe Rabbeinu said, "I daven to Kodesh Baruch Hu." So we all learn the pasuk. We all learn it. How do we learn the pasuk? That at that time, when Moshe Rabbeinu is standing in front of the people, he davened to Kodesh Baruch Hu. I tried to get in. 515 tefillas, we all know. That's not Gematria 515, Gematria tefillah. You think that he was only davening then? The second that Kodesh Baruch Hu said, "You're not going in," he was davening. And I bet the second that Kodesh Baruch Hu told him by the snack, "You're going to go to Eretz Yisrael," he was probably already davening. He was davening for many, many years to get to Eretz Yisrael. V'eschan al Hashem tamid, I was always davening to Kodesh Baruch Hu, bein b'dvekas, bein shlo b'dvekas. Sometimes it was with Dvekas, sometimes not with Dvekas. Sometimes I just said the words, I want to go to Eretz Yisrael, but he didn't feel it. But Asa, he lay more at that time. What's that time? Hainu be'esha ezkel as well with Dvekas. At that time, that I was zochet to daven one tefillah with Dvekas. Shebechinas, shagura tefillah sebefi. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, that smooth tefillah from my mouth. V'hainu ba'esa hu ha'ilemor. At that time, saying, when it was smooth coming out of my mouth. When those words were said from my mouth, carefully, they were said in a way of appeasement, because I davened b'dvekas. All my tefillos went on me. Kodesh Baruch Hu still said no. And we learn, this is the raya, one of the rayas that I think, that teaches about the amkas of tefillah. Moshe Rabbeinu davens 515 times. We learn from this tefillah and the 515 tefillahs how to daven. We learn tefillah from this tefillah. And it was a tefillah that was never answered. He got rejected. The answer was no. And yet we learn from this tefillah. Because we learn that tefillah is not about getting answered. It's not the tachlis. It's part of it. We want to. Kodesh Baruch Hu wants to hear about kashas. That's not the purpose. The purpose is the vekas. The purpose is a relationship. Purpose is daven even when it doesn't make any sense. Kodesh Baruch already said no. Kodesh Baruch said no 514 times. And he said, don't daven anymore. I'm going to say it again. And yet Moshe Rabbeinu is still daven. He's still daven. He's still daven. Because it's about the relationship. Even if you're upset. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's Emuna Pshuta. Emuna Pshuta, there is no end. If it's Emuna based on Sichlis, you could get caught up. If someone comes with a bigger logic, or if you daven 515 times and you're like, listen, I know Avram Avinu had a rough time, I know, but this is too many times. This is just too many times. I'm done with this. Right? But if you can get to the Madrega of Emuna Pshuta, there's no end, because there was never a reason in the beginning. It's not dependent on anything. It's like an ahava shelo tol b'davar. It's an ahava that's unconditional. There's no reason. If there's no reason, there's no reason to stop. That's what we want to get to. That avodas Hashem should be the madrega, that there is no reason why we're doing it except for the fact that it's the emes. That's it. Then you'll never stop. Today, I can't today. I don't know. I'm not sure. Just do it. Mechazik yourself. Emuna Pshuta. Easier said than done, but we have to try. So now I want to just read this last little part of Likutei Moharan. This from Torah tests. Ikar chiyas mekabel tefillah. Ikar chiyas of a person is from tefillah. So this is the problem, because we go into tefillah like droopy Jews. Ikar chiyas is supposed to come from tefillah, but you got to put some energy into tefillah to get the energy back out. So if a person is lacking chiyas, this is where you might have to fake it a little bit till you make it. The kol kocho, if you really can't have that vacancy, you can't have any attachment, then you got to fake it. The kol kocho, just put it in. It's not really faking it, but you understand. Not faking, it's real tefillah. It's Emuna Pshuta. But you're faking the out loudness. Meaning, if I would do the avoda according to the way I feel, then I would just. And we all know if you're actually. We all know if you're actually davening or not. It doesn't really matter what everybody else thinks, but you know those guys. I'm always wondering, like, if you're saying how are you actually saying the words? I'm hearing okay. I don't pay attention to anybody really. It doesn't matter. Each person says their cheshbon. Could be the day of Emuna Pshuta better than I do. Could be they're having a really bad day and they're there. So maybe they're having Emuna Pshuta and their davening is harder than mine. Could be. But I'll go upon them. Chiyas comes from tefillah. Kamashkas, the pasuk says tefillah lekel chaya. Davening to Kodesh Baruch Hu, that's my chiyas. Therefore, a person has davening kol kocho. Doesn't say dveikis. Doesn't say dveikis. That's a different Indian. You have it down the kol kocho. Daven out loud. It's an eitzah tova. That's an amazing eitzah. It doesn't say yelling. It didn't say b'tza'aka. Don't say if they yell. It's not stolen. Say the words out loud. That's it. Not a scream. It's the simplest and one of the most powerful eitzahs. Daven out loud. To yourself, quietly to yourself, but audible, not whispering. Try it. Try it tomorrow. It'll take your droopiness and turn it inside out. You'll see. You can't be droopy if you're davening out loud. It's almost like not shy. It diffuses the droopiness. I'm going to say it a few more times.
And my comment's going to be that this is an excuse, but you can hear that if one were to daven like that, you're never going to keep up with the minute.
If you daven out loud?
If you daven out loud,
if you daven out loud with that kavana, you could keep up.
No, if you daven out loud and say every word, you will not keep up with the ball field here.
So fine.
You won't.
So daven out loud and keep every word, and wherever you get to, you get to. Daven out loud. What's the option? So you're whispering or you're not saying the words? Some people are not saying the words. That's a problem.
Skip around. It's not possible.
So then daven out loud, your pace, but keep moving. Try to be there on time, like we've discussed, and just keep going. Keep going. You catch him by chazar shots. You always start with the chaz and then it's a b'diavad, but if you have to, you have to. I've heard that sometimes by the minyanim, if they're too fast, it's like a b'diavad situation. It's already b'diavad daven so fast. Okay, and we'll have to catch trains. We have to go to work. We're living in Golas. Our tefillah is, unfortunately, for a lot of times, it's a b'diavad. What you can do, but Baruch Hashem, we're there. So do what you can do. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. When a person davens out loud, he puts his koach into the osios, into the beis, into the reish, into the vav, into the chaf. His koach becomes renewed then. Everything in this world is based on the osios. The world is built on the osios. Your whole name, everybody's name here is based on osios. Whether it's a mem shem hey, yud vav samach vei, doesn't matter what it is. It's all based on osios. So when you put your koach into the osios, your own osios get enlightened. A renewal. In the morning we have Emuna in you, Kodesh Baruch Hu. Ki Emuna hi tefillah. Emuna tefillah. Even without dveikus, we're not talking about dveikus in this Torah. Just davening out loud, being there and davening out loud, that's already level of Emuna Pshuta. You work on that, the sky's the limit. Because once a person locks into Emuna Pshuta, nothing can stop him. It's not. There's no reason anyway. Moshe Kassel, Yad of Emuna, Moshe Rabbeinu's hands are Emuna. Tagumo, Prishim, Betzilo, his hands are spread in Tefillah. And we all know Eretz Yisrael's Bechinas Emuna. Rabbi Nachman says many times that we're in goals because of our lack of Emuna. That's what we're in right now. So with Tefillah, B'Emuna, Tefillah Kelchai, with our work on Emuna Pshuta, just saying Ani Mamin, whether you believe it or you don't, just say it. Believe that you're a believer in some play. Ani Mamin, She'ani Mamin. Again and again and again, saying it out loud, creating that koach inside of yourself. That'll bring you to a gula. Right? Droopiness is gullus. Getting out of that is gula. And Amrit Hashem, if we all do, we could bring ourselves, all of us, together, collectively, out of this gullus into a place of gula, shlema, amitis, from here.
Amen.